The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name. For the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. And another start to another video. This will be chapter 31. And as you can see right off the bat, when you look at the text, whoops, wait a second. You can tell that this story is coming from the last video I did. And that was talking about Jesus coming in his last days. You will understand what's going on, or they will understand what's going on. So the thing here is it's kind of like, then he will be God of all the families of Israel, and they will be my people. Now, the thing here is he's already said this, okay? So, and I would have to correct this, but the thing here is if it is I'll try to treat it as a continuation, although that was like the end of the story. Let me see if I've got the other. Yeah, I got this. This was all that was in Jeremiah 30, chapter 30. So Jeremiah is having to rewrite his words that our Creator told him about, and then it seems like this actually might go someplace else because it starts and it gives us like the end of another story. Okay, so that's kind of odd that he would only write this is say that's rewrite all my words. Okay, so that's when I was looking at the text I realized that. So but it's gonna bring them back onto their land and give them the land. They're supposed to wait for their Savior, David's son, and I'll send them their king. And this should have been a little bit highlighted red to know it was Jesus and their king. Okay, I give it all red, so I better do all red here. And their king will be one from them, coming from among them, as I bring him closer to me. Then they will be his people, and in his last days they will understand this. Okay, so I've got to keep that in mind, but it's still saying the same thing. He will be this title has to be king, talking about Jesus, and this is going to be our Creator's words. So make it all red, and then say I'm adding this. A king for everyone. This because the story above kind of says something like this, but this here is being added to say that the other part of our Creator's promise is for everyone on earth. So that's what I need the word everyone, and that way you understand the word all here. It's not really the greatest word, everyone. And so we have to have Jesus here. So he will be, it's like I have to add the king for everyone. So I'm going to do that, add that. He will be the king for everyone. The families is tribes, so let's do tribes. Tribes from Israel, and it's going to be the male Israel. And I'm not going to keep highlighting our Creator's words. I'll do that when I go to wrap up the next video or this. What I'll do, I got to clean it up, put it up in order, the text that I've already done. So, but to say this is what the text is telling me this it's about right now for everyone. With the tribes from Israel, he will be the king for everyone. With the tribes from Israel, the word they is saying together, 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 together. I guess I got E. and together almost like I gotta put the word together separate here, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to add that word, because right now I'm seeing that I actually need this word too. I was thinking I could just replace the word together. And together they will be his. Now, I can't put them as people because that has to change. And since our creator's saying this, a king has subjects. Be his I guess servants. I'm thinking of how it was said before. I think we're his servants is the best. That is the best description. Be his servants in heaven. And this in his last days they'll understand this. And here's what they're saying. This, he will be the king for everyone with the tribes from Israel, and together they will be his servants. If I get rid of the word together and add the word heaven, or in heaven, say I'm adding, I added that. I'm going to make this gray, so I got to do this and this. Now, let me see something here real quick. No, yes, this here. If I felt that this was separate and this was getting to be this way as to represent, then I am missing. And then as they will be his people, and in his last day they will understand this. And then that verse completes that part. Okay? So now we're on to either another subject, and this is the true ending, and I had that wrong. Okay. We'll find grace in the wilderness, and they'll find rest there. No, our Creator is sending them to Babylon, okay? Not into the wilderness. The wilderness, by the way, is the land between the desert and the green. So that's where you see the trees that have maybe one or two green leaves on them, a little plot of grass around them, and the rest of it is sand. That's known as the wilderness. Why have you appeared to me from afar, saying, I've loved you with everlasting love, therefore I have drawn you with love kindness. No, that isn't how our Creator speaks. Again, I will build you up and rebuild. Well, that's already been said in other texts. You really got to understand that a lot of the story has been starting to repeat the things that's already been said. I don't think, well, I was just going to say I should try to make them into paragraphs or put them into a psalm and then see if, pick which ones are the best ones to use. But I don't see that. That never happened. Again, you will be planted. Oh no, this is you. Vineyards in the hills of Samaria, and you will enjoy them. What's the big deal about that? Um, well, I don't see the point of anything that's related, because if everybody's going to rejoice about Jesus, they wouldn't just be saying one. So you'd have to say everybody. So the story sounds oversalted to me, like they're adding text that I know it's already been done. Because I've got 60 verses here, 60 chapters. I probably end up going to saying that a lot in the coming stories. Although we don't have the story of actually Babylon yet arriving. We've got stories that Babylon's coming, and we got stories that after Babylon has taken them. So this has already been said. Better yet, it's in a real story that's longer than this. See, this is North Country, where it should be Babylon. And I'm not going to gather them, they're going to send to you. Actually, the remotest parts, no, that isn't. They're heading to China. Okay. Remote means to me farthest away. Remote might mean places where people don't live either. So why would that? I don't see that. Among the blind and lame. Now, oversalted words, everything here as well. No, this is out. This is, I'm reading it fast, but it's oversalted words. No, again, out, out. They will be radiant over bounty of YV, over the grain, over the wine, over the oil, over the young of the flock and the herd. Um, Oversalted, would you say? The life of like a watered garden. Never be. No. When, then the virgin will rejoice in the dance. Boy, that's a lot being tossed out, and I really didn't have. I haven't. I only got that one little part at the very beginning so far, which is actually the end of the other one. So I guess that's what they get to do. They say, okay, yeah, now that we got to the end of the story, we'll put it in a different chapter, so they'll think that all this other stuff counts too. Oh man. I will fill the soul of the priest with abundance. Is satisfied with my goodness. He blesses us. Blesses why we voices heard. Okay, this is where Rachel, who is really going to be Leah, that is weeping. Um, okay, so that looks like there. That to me sounds like there's a story there. Yeah, and here's some more of it. So I'm not sure about that one, but okay. I'm going to put this down below that line just to have it here. A voice is heard in Ramah lamentations and bitter weeping. Now, if you know about um, the governor that ruled over the area known as Israel, um, the, the wise men from east of the Jordan River came over, told them they seen the star that um, their Savior has been born, and he kills all the males from 2 years old and down in in near and around Bethlehem, which is in Judah, which makes Leah the firstborn, or the first son is born from Leah. So this has to be Leah to be correct. Okay. Leah is weeping for her. Where she refuses to be comforted for her sons. We know they're sons, not children, right? You know the story? Let's correct it here. But I have to do this because they are no more. This has to be here. So this has to go here. And this would be here. If it's 3 verse, then it's this, because we have a real good ending here. So I can put like a period there, a comma here. And this would be like a statement that's saying this. Although I got, I guess, too quick here. Because if I got weeping here, I don't need it here. But I do need it here. Leah is weeping. for she refuses to be comforted, for her sons are no more. I guess that works. This would be here a crying out. And the crying out is what they do to our Creator. They're all crying out to him. Why? Like our sons were just slaughtered for our King. Because this guy doesn't believe this. A crowd is heard. Now this has to be Judah. And this has to be the tribe Judah. So I'm going to leave it like that, not put any bold text to mean that it is going to be from this area, from this tribe. So let me see what the secular dictionary says first here. The howling. A cry out is heard, and Judah for Judah's. For Judah's. YHVH'S is mourning. I'm going to put mourning here. And then I don't need this anymore. Although I should have looked to see if you guys, how much you should see it. It pops up there. This morning with a bitter weeping. With bitter weeping. The and is the fuchsia colored word that says that text was added in the 77 NSAB with bitter weeping. Now you know that this can't be just the only thing that's being said, so you know that this text has got to go someplace and this isn't going to belong. So now we have this prophecy. I didn't know Jeremiah said it. I thought it was going to be before then. But I guess this is they're heading to Babylon, so that a lot of things our Creator is saying that when they return, he's talking about the returning. So you know this text is going to go with that as a subject matter. This has nothing to do with what's been said. And I don't think it has any really information for us. And there is hope for your future, and your children will return to their own territory. We've got that said, but territory is the first time they're saying it with this word. So they've said it with land. They haven't said it with the promised land, though. Okay. I've surely heard screaming just by. I don't even see that as saying anything important either. I don't know if that's spelled right. Did I? Yeah, I must removed the E when I was doing some editing earlier. For after I turned back and I repented, and after I was instructed, I smote my thigh. I don't care who you are, you're not that important to do that. There's no text there. Where's the story? Oh, Ephraim's not important, so let me see if I replace Ephraim with Jesus here is my dear son, delightful child. Nope. Set it up for yourselves road marks and places for guideposts. Direct your mind by way you went. Returning to, I don't think this is. This is really bad. I know when I was editing it, just cutting it in verses, I can now remember when I did this one. This one was like, there's text is hard to. Sometimes there's a lot of places where I can say, this is 3 verse, this is 4 verse, and chop them that way when I can read them. But when I don't, I leave them like this because I'll look at it later because I don't know exactly which ones to use. But when I'm throwing out so much, I must have thought to myself at that time that there was just way too much words that are being said but not saying anything specific enough. What's the deal about their fortune? I mean, that's like the second or third time I'm seeing the word restoring their fortune. And their abode, not their home, of the righteous and the holy. And I'm here this time around to specifically look to see if I missed anything. I can tell you that I'm not missing anything of that stuff anymore. That's just still junk. Judah and everyone, cities will live together. And the farmer will go out about with flocks. The farmer and the shepherd. No, I don't see that either. I'll satisfy the airy ones and refresh airy ones who languishes. Nope. And they're gonna come and refresh them. That's this awoke. Oh, this was a vision. This was all a vision. At this I awoke, and I looked, and my sleep was pleasant to me. That, like I said, sometimes these guys that are writing have no idea of a creator who created everything is talking to his people to be an example for the rest of us. And then through that, the Hebrew nation, he forms his nation, he calls Israel, and they are to be the living example for the rest of us on earth to live by so we can enter into heaven. And they don't get that. Oh, with the soul of man and the soul of the beast. I don't. This is if they're going into the promised land, yeah, that might work. Not way here, and when they're being thrown out. No, this I'm pretty sure is in our Creator's everlasting promises because it was so hard to do when I did it under his formats. Yeah, like this. How do I break this verse up? This verse, okay? If I put teeth with the first part, and then this doesn't make any sense, and I can't put it into the format. So if that's out, because maybe the word again goes over here, okay? And then the fathers are eating sour grapes. Now, why are they eating sour grapes? Have no idea. Now, we certainly didn't find it in this mess. In those days, what days are those? They will not say again, the fathers are eating sour grapes. If it's not sour grapes, it's not. I'm thinking like as if there's a drought, they aren't growing that big, that they're eating like smaller famine grapes, which would be drought grapes, but sour grapes. That means they wouldn't know how to pick them. And I know back then they knew when things were good and when things weren't. Not like today. Although I understand Asia understands how to eat by rotation of food that's seasonal. Not so much here in America. Hamburgers all year long, okay? Let's say again, the fathers and their children's teeth are set on edge. Okay, I'm done working with this. I don't see that. He's going to make a new covenant. Now I know this is, yeah, when I read that, I knew this was going to be wrong. This doesn't take a genius to know that a new covenant is absolutely red flag. You should pay great attention to words like that. His everlasting, he told Abraham, it's his covenant is forever, and he's not going to change, okay? So, see, it's like he made with the when he brought him up out of Egypt. That's the 12 commandments, okay? And he's saying that this is a new covenant. Although, wait a second. What if he's... Now, see, I would refuse this just for the simple fact that I'm basing it on new covenant. But if I make a promise and get rid of the word new, not like the promise which I made with their forefathers in the day, bring them out of Egypt. My covenant that they brought, or they broke, this would definitely be out. But he's not making it with just Israel. To do this, no, this is against his... You have to have sin. If he's keeping sin around, sin is not obeying one of the 12 commandments, by the way. There's only 12 of them. So the thing here is it's not he's going to bring it, it's Jesus will forgive. But that means it still has to be tied to what he said here in the desert. So I'm going to say all this is out. They're trying to make up a new story, a new promise for our Creator, and that's not going to happen. Not in my watch. That's just not true. Because he can't make it to just Judah and Israel. It's to everyone. Let me show you something here. What I know that you're kind of like, oh, well, he's just talking to talk. Okay, here. When he talked to Abraham, okay, right here, I will make nations from you, and kings shall come forth from you, and I will establish my covenant between you and yours. Okay, me and you. Me and you are yours. Later, we have this continuation, and in him, the him would be the kings. All the nations of the earth will be blessed. We don't understand the word blessed until we get to the other promise that he told through Nathan to David about through his son's seed will come a king. So to not say that the virgin birth is a lie against our Creator right now when I say those words. So there's no virgin birth, and now what I just said is true. And then it's this blessing we know would be that we get to enter into heaven. And all the races on earth, this is what this is talking about. So we'll be blessed. And that means this is a covenant he is not going to change. Okay? So this stuff here is just, it's out. Definitely out. Thus says YV, who gives the sun for light for the day and fixed order, moon and the stars, and for light at night. Well, the stars don't really give us much light. It's the moon, okay? uh, with the moon and star. It still isn't saying it's got to be by moonlight in the night. Anyways, he stirs up the seas that waves roar, and his name is YV is his name. Okay. Now we got two quick oversalted words. That didn't even come. I even just tasted that. Like, that was so bad to say. I can't say that truthfully. So, this fixed order departs from before me. Then the offspring of Israel also ceased from being a nation before. But we already told, he's already, the agreement that they made, descendants are to agree to the 12 commandments to enter into heaven and after. So this can't cease. It can't do anything. No, this is, if the heavens can be measured in the foundation, or well, we know our Creator knows that's impossible, so he's not really going to be saying that. Their false gods might be, at that time, they could have talked people into saying, he's saying if you can't measure this. But I don't belittle our Creator. I mean, look at everything he's made. I mean, the universe is quite huge. And that's just, and the universe is part of him, by the way. Just a part of him. Now, we know that I've already got the text about rebuilding, but they're talking about some special gates that got to be measured or made. A measuring line go out. This, now, uh, and the ashes and all the field, the whole, and the dead bodies of the ashes, all of the, yeah, that's all out. And wow, 40 verses and nothing but what? What? Just the very first verse? Oh, that's right. That don't get me wrong. There's some important words here. In the middle of the rest of the crap, they used it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oops, I've got to use this. I'm going to copy that. No, I should do it right. I should do it up here. Just going to grab the first verse here and go like that. This was quicker than I thought. So, and then I got to go back to here and come down here. I want to include that 15 so people can come back, and although it's going to be pretty easy because all the other text is blue here. So I forgot about that. But I do want to mention how far it is down there. So I do want to put that in there. Okay, now this, I've copied it, but I want to save that. And since I'm working on it, I can put this here and go like this. Because this this cleanup is kind of funny that there's hardly anything here. But found text. Okay, now we know this goes with this. And this needs to go here, and I usually try to put a wider space between just for myself. But that matters, and this here, I'll make it as if I added it. And that's it for your screenshot for the day. And that only took less than an hour. 50 minutes. I know the first 5 minutes don't count. So last days they will understand this. He will be the king for everyone. I guess the word "the," I guess I need to make it italic to be more correct. Be the king for everyone. And I might as well make it gray at the same time before I forget. And I'll go put that back in, but that's all there is. And you can see there's another piece that's going to go someplace. Um, but you know what? I better make this all like this. Now it's a screenshot time. Now it's a save for this. Well, that's why I got to start making more. I was thinking that I just generally looked, and when I seen 40 verses, I thought this is going to take me 3 hours. So, but now, let me see if I can. Let me see what else is here. Oh, had the wrong one. What if I just continue and start working? Oh, I haven't cut the text up yet. In the morning, I cut up a lot of verses. So you caught me. It caught me. Okay. But I think I did this a couple days ago. Been catching up. Okay. End of story for the day. See you on the next video.